Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do a video about the Melbourne Hi-Fi Show. A wrap-up video if you like, just to talk about how I found the show and some standout rooms at the show. Also talk to you a little bit about what's coming up on the channel in the not too distant future. So as far as the show went, it was really good. It was very well organised. A special thank you goes out to Mark Rushton and his family from StereoNet. They organise the show every year, and I know Mark puts a heck of a lot of work in to get that show running as smoothly as it runs. On Friday, I got there as the event opened, and there was a queue at the front, but Mark's wife and his family were manning the booth in the front, and we all got through really quite quickly. There was no real delays, and everybody was really well mannered and behaved, and we all got through, and it was a really good job. I touched base with Mark at one point there, and he was literally running around like there was no tomorrow, trying to keep everything on track, and absolutely did a fantastic job, because really you could not have asked for a better run show than that. So again, well done Mark and family for a really well organised event. So now we get on to talking about the standouts that as far as I was concerned, the rooms that I thought really sounded quite nice. And the first room I'd like to talk about is OAD Ultra Fidelity. On one of my videos that is up on the channel, I did a walkthrough with John DeCensi, the owner of OAD Ultra Fidelity. Now, they're a Melbourne company based in Melbourne. They get all of their machining work done for their chassis in Melbourne, and really it is first class stuff. The build quality is as good as anything that I have in my system here, from all the big brands, and sound-wise, you couldn't ask for more. It is really competitively priced equipment, and at a sonic level that really punches above its weight. I listened to John released his brand new reference phono stage, so I listened to some vinyl in the room with his new open baffle speakers, and they were it was really lovely. It was very easy to listen to. Solid state amplification, high bias Class A. I think the first 15 watts on his stereo power amp is in Class A. So really very liquid, smooth mid-range, very natural sounding room. The acoustics were really good. John was working very hard. He's just released a new streamer as well, which also sounded very good. A big thumbs up to John and OAD Ultra Fidelity. It really was a very good room. Another great room, which is usually always a good room, is the Nirvana sound room. Nirvana do a great job with their vinyl setup, and there was no exception again this year. It was a standout room. It just had that little edge, that set it aside from a lot of the other rooms. They had their acoustics pretty well sorted out in there, and the room sounded quite good. It was well visited, just like John's room was at OAD Ultra Fidelity. It was hard to get the sweet spot, but through perseverance I eventually got into all the sweet spots, so I could share these videos with you, and if you weren't able to get to the show, at least you got a bit of a chance to have a listen and see what was on offer. Another great room that was quite impressive this year was Class A Audio. Their room was fantastic. They were featuring Vitus, which of course I have Vitus monoblocks in my system, so I have a little bit of a soft spot there. But actually, when I went into that room and had a listen, they were playing their Accuphase amplifier, and again, that room sounded fantastic. They were streaming. It was right up there with very good sound, what I would consider to be high-end audio. And so the guys at Class A Audio did a fantastic job. One of the standout rooms for sure. Another fantastic room at the show was right next door to OAD Ultra Fidelity. It was the Pitt and Giblin room. A couple of young guys out of Tasmania are building an active loudspeaker, and the bass in that room was as good as anything I heard at the show. The way they rolled that bass out, for the listeners, it really was first class. A standout room from an audio perspective. It really was up there with as good as anything at the show. And a couple of young guys, as I said, out of Tasmania, starting out, building a very, very high quality active speaker. I will reach out to them because they fit the mantra that I want to promote, and that is Australian manufacturing and Australian dealers. So they sell direct, as far as I understand. I'm going to reach out to them and see if I can get a review sample here in my room, so that I can play it for you guys and talk to you about my feelings in this room. But I have no doubt it will be impressive, because it certainly was very impressive at the show. So well done. They are my sort of 4 standouts. But it needs to be said that, you know, the differences between these 4 rooms, and that's why I don't want to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. The differences between these rooms were very, very minute. They just, to me, stood out and just had that slightly more refined sound, the sort of sound I like to listen to, the sound I like to hear coming out of high-end audio. So that's pretty much why I judge those rooms to be my standouts. Now, coming up on the channel in the not too distant future will be my Robinson cable review. So I have here in the room Robinson Cable's Elite cable series, which is their top of the range stuff. This speaker cable is OCC copper and high purity silver. Fantastic cable. Really, really impressed with it, what I've heard from it so far. I also have their Elite series interconnect cables, both XLR and RCA cables. They are all high purity silver cables, and in my system, they work fantastically well. And I'll go into more detail about what I heard and what I like about them. But the Robinson cable review is coming up soon, so stay tuned for that. I've also had the opportunity to reach out to quite a few of the manufacturers at the show that are Australian based. Very favourably, a lot of them are quite happy to send me some review samples, so I will have components here, I will have speakers in here to do reviews on, so there's plenty coming up on the channel. The Hi-Fi show was fantastic, and it gave me an opportunity to reach out to some people. I've got another little special project coming up soon with somebody you might know, who is an Australian-based YouTuber. So hopefully we can put something together, and we'll talk a bit further about that if and when it comes to fruition. But until then, and until the next time I see you, bye for now.